notch, something that I'm going to be using even for tent poles. I've done this quite a bit. As you can see, it's taken me a while. Not only is it more dangerous, as you can see, the sharp portion of that blade can slip out of that and bump me. So it is a little bit more dangerous. If that was to slip out of the notch, I'd probably get cut. So control is very important. That upward finger choil on the blade helps a lot. If you're looking for a good knife, good outdoor knife to use for, food prep, outdoor use, you've clicked on the right knife. Hey guys, it's Man500 here, back with another video talking about a folding knife. Here's my talking points that I go over. Try and keep them in pretty decent order. I usually do a pretty good job, or I hope so, to give you guys the information that you guys are looking for. Especially when you're going to buy good gear. I love doing these reviews. These are really good. I've done this review, I think this is the 4th time now. Just because I'm trying to get quality instead of quantity. I want to do good gear review, and I want to do good quality gear, but I want to also have my video high quality as well. So no ums, no big pauses, stuff that you guys might find boring at times. So I'm really trying to keep my reviews down to a minimal amount. Of course I'm going to have my intro and stuff, but generally I'm going to try and keep it down to a minimum for you guys, so you guys get the information that you want about the product. Today, that's this knife right here. The Buck Omni. This is a 12-point folder version. You can also get this in a 10-point folder version, which we'll talk later on as we go on through my talking points. I love this knife. I've been carrying this for a while. I've actually EDC'd this knife for a while. Everyday carry this knife for a couple reasons, which I will also get to in the talking points. So let's jump right in. First of all, the blade. As you can see, it's a hollow ground design. You see the hollow ground there. One thing that Buck does have problems with, especially in their knives, is you can see the vertical striations in the grind. It's not a really high polished grind. This one isn't bad. I've had some other ones that are really bad though, with those vertical striations. The reason that this isn't bad is that this is, they call this a satin finished, and it's really shiny. So that might be a disadvantage to some guys. They don't like that shiny coating on it. Maybe Dur coated or spray painted or something like that, and that'll give you a good option. The blade length on this is 4 inches. I believe the 10-point version is 3.5 inches, and it's really broad. It's really broad, and you have that sharp upsweep towards the tip there, drop point design, and it's got a little bit of a recurve here, if you see that coming back towards the handle, and it does have a little bit of finger choil. When we get to comfort, we'll talk about that a little bit more. Steel is 420 HC for the price, which is going to be around $50. That's actually not bad. People always say that 420 HC, including me, which is 420 high carbon stainless steel, is kind of a bad steel. I said, well, I've had really good luck with it, and I think it's a pretty decent steel. It's not high quality, but it's not the worst that you can get. Serrations. I don't think this comes in a partially serrated version. One version that it does come in is it does have a gut hook that you can get as well, and this also comes in some higher quality steels. Buck usually makes a couple different lineups. They make the higher quality lineups, and then they make these lineups here. Still made in the USA though, which is a plus for you guys. You can see the satin finish there is kind of, there's the camera, there's me. Anyways, I'm just kind of get sidetracked there, but it is made in the USA, so that's a good plus for you guys who don't like stuff made overseas. The locking, Buck calls this their mid lock. As you can see there, it's about mid spine. The lock back is actually the one that's in the back of the knife. This one is going to be easier to disengage because it's not at the back of the knife, but it is the same idea as a lock back. And to be honest, the lock wasn't that great. As you can hear, I do get a little bit of up and down play. Now, is that a real huge deal? Not really. I wouldn't say, not for the purpose of this knife, which is light duty food prep, or not light duty, but any type of food prep. Maybe some skinning tasks, especially a skinning task, because you have that broad blade and a sharp upsweep. So definitely a food prep knife, definitely a skinning knife, and it's very, very lightweight. Handle is very nice. I do like this handle. Some people say they don't like it, but I do. You have that really nice, perfect finger choil right there, and the curvature of the hand just locks right in. And you got what they might call jimping at the top there. The jimping isn't very good up at the top. It's not really doing a whole lot. But you can, like I said earlier, you can choke up on that blade, give you a little bit more control for doing some different tasks like that. So I do like the handle. The handle is what Buck calls the thermoplastic base with the Dynaflex rubber overmold. To me, pretty much what that means in layman's terms is that this is up here is more of a rubber, and this is more of a hard plastic. Also, inside here, dig into my EDC light. This is a Pelican 1910. Looking down in here, you can see the milling job inside there as well, and it runs the whole handle. That's what makes it so lightweight. And something else you might notice is that there's no steel liners. So there's no steel in there whatsoever, and you can see they did a really good job of milling out that handle. It's really, really well done handle. So that's what makes it so lightweight partially, and that's really good too. No steel liners. Comfort, I already kind of talked about that. I would like to see that jimping a little bit sharper, and there is a little bit of jimping back there. So if you were to go to reverse on it for whatever reason, there is a little bit back there. Like I said, the jimping isn't super, super sharp, but it is there. Some is better than none. I had to get a drink there. Speed opening system. Pretty much, it's pretty fast for the size of the blade. I'm going to try. There we go. So it is pretty fast for the size of the blade. The only problem with these mid-locks or lockbacks is that you're overcoming that spring inside, and sometimes it's hard to do. And I did mess with that pivot point. See if I can do it again. I am in behind the tripod too, so whoops. No, I can't do it. Anyways, you can do it, but you got to get a really good purchase on that thumb stud, and they are ambidextrous. So you got to get a really good purchase with your fingernail there, and then just deploy it that way. It is really hard to do. Like I said, you're overcoming that lock back, so it is going to be harder to do. I think most conventional hunters are just going to open it like that. Another thing with safety, just make sure with all your big blades that your fingers aren't anywhere near, like in here when you go to close the blade, because you can cut yourself pretty bad. So it does open fairly readily. You can open it like that as well. That's another great option. And I do like those sub studs on there. They're pretty much perfect, and they don't get caught up in the sheath, which I'll talk about in a minute, which is quietly waiting in the background. Just pull it to the side. Pocket clip. There's no pocket clip. I guess I will talk about the sheath right now then, since we're on the topic. For you guys, you might not like the fact that there's no pocket clip on it, and that might turn you off from the knife. Cold Steel makes an excellent lineup of knives just like this that are bigger in size, and they have a pocket clip. But for now, let's talk about this sheath. I love this sheath. It's just great. Tough nylon. I love nylon a lot more than I like leather. I can tell you that right off the bat. Some people say, synthetics, oh man, I hate them, blah, blah, blah. They're horrible. They rot easy. Well, let me tell you, leather will rot out on you a lot better if you don't take care of it. So I do like the nylon sheaths. They're just going to last better on you. And it's easier material to work with. And you can get a lot more high quality grade out of it than with leather. So you got a snap right there. A snap, not Velcro, which is good. I like to see that in my sheaths. And you can carry it horizontally or vertically. So you have options there, which is really good. And it is an attractive sheath. When it's in the sheath, man, it looks pretty cool. Just stick it in there just to show you guys. But I mean, I think that looks good in the sheath. It does have to go in a certain way though. If you try and put it in this way, it won't close down on you. And when it's in the sheath, you might notice that it's a tip-up carry. So that's good as well. Not really aiding to the speed any, but it is nice to see that they positioned it tip up. So that's really all I can say about the sheath. I absolutely love it. And it's just a great overall sheath, nice and lightweight as well. Weight, now that we're getting to weight, 4.6 ounces. Now you might say that's a lot, but look at the size of the blade. 4 inches long. That's about an inch thick at the thickest part, I believe. Over an inch thick, I'm pretty sure. Just for reference, weight for the folding hunter is 7.2 ounces, and that's a 3 3/4 inch blade. And that's one that I've reviewed before. That's the 110, the Buck 110 that I reviewed of Outdoors Guy 500s. 7.2 ounces for a 3 3/4 inch blade, and it's not as thick as that. That's why I like this one for EDC more than because I gave that one a hit in the review. Right on this title I said, a good hunter but not a good EDC, and that's why, the 7.2 ounces for that knife. This one here is going to be a lot lighter. 4.6 I think is a lot more carryable than that Buck 110. So if you like big folders like the 110, this is definitely one that you should put on your hit list, and I guarantee you're going to carry it a lot more. Because if you have to carry a 7.2 ounce knife on you, that would kind of suck. I know some people do it. I'm not saying that people don't do it, but I would much rather have something that's going to be lighter and have a bigger blade as well. That's a big bonus. And the blade shape is really good. I love the blade shape. It's great for EDC, and I just love it. So that's my little sidetrack there for now. So the weight is excellent. I just love the weight for what you're getting. I mean, it's a no-brainer, especially when you consider that 110 special. I'll put it up in annotations for you guys to go see it, and you'll see right there that I don't recommend it for EDC. So there you go. Price is around $50. It's going to be less than that 110 that I just told you about, that I just referenced. It's going to be less than that, and you're still getting more blade for your money, around $50. Just depending on where you get it, it's going to be less down for you guys down in the States. Category, I definitely categorize this as a hunting knife. Makes a great camp knife. Great food prep or an outdoor EDC, or just a regular EDC. If you like big knives like the 110, then definitely consider this one for sure. Blade options, I already talked about the 110. I don't have it right on hand. But other than that, this is really a standalone knife. Because I don't have any other reference for something that's a folder that's this big and gives you this much options for carry. Just great. I love it, guys. I already talked about my extra features, which was the sheath. Oh, and also gives you a big lanyard hold back to back there, and the blade is adjustable. And that's about it. You can't take it apart. The only thing I could find a problem with is for hunting. If you're skinning out an animal of some sort, you might get blood or guts down in there. Also makes a good a fishing knife as well. I've carried this fishing on many expeditions. I just love carrying it for fishing. I'm considering that when I go fishing, I'm testing a lot of tackle. I don't really want to be carrying a big, huge knife on me, so this is definitely a great option for that as well. But just watch it in there, just rinse it out a little bit with some water, and then blow some compressed air into it, and it'll clear it up for the most part. So there you go, guys. Woodsman 500 here. This is my take on the Buck. This is the Omni folder version, the 12-point folder. Love this knife a lot, guys. I hope I proved my point that this is just a great overall knife, and I just love it for the weight and for the size of the blade that you're getting. It's just a no-brainer. A little bit of troubles with lockup, but for what this knife is designed for, just excellent, guys. Woodsman 500 here. Stay tuned.
Tenders. And it's a lot easier than going out and getting birch bark, and then in this area right here there's not a whole lot of birch, so I'm not going to take any off the trees. If you can find some, and if they're plentiful, then give her. But in this instance, we don't have a lot around, so I'm not gonna bother. Just gonna keep working away at this.